So what are the key points to take away from this if you're a US concert promoter, if you're a celebrity, an American celebrity artist, if you're an African concert promoters? Let's start first with US concert promoters. Get your contracts in place. One artist is not going to come and mess up the entire business you've worked so hard to build. Get your contracts in place if you don't already. Get your contracts in place, understand the terms, get to a lawyer. You want to sort all that out. Usually we're not talking about small money here. It's hundreds and thousands of dollars, sometimes into millions. So you want to protect yourself. You don't want to be financially crippled just because you want to bring a big name artist into your city. And all of a sudden, things don't go well and you've already shelled out all that money. Secondly, with respect to the artist, American celebrity artists, times have changed. It used to be touring happened in Asia, US, and Europe. Very rarely did American artists think twice about even looking at Africa as an option for touring or performing concerts, etc. But the economy, everyone's got to get paid somehow. And of course, the digital revolution and disruption that's going on in the music industry here in the US, Africa really is a viable option. Also, African promoters, oh my gosh, do they pay like 4 times more than what any promoter here would even agree to pay a US artist, celebrity or not. So there's so much to be said for going to Africa to perform. However, if you're going to Africa to perform and you're so scared that everything you've seen on TV here since you were a kid about Africans is so true and you're going to just get traumatized, robbed, kidnapped, the whole 9 yards, do yourself a favor and fall back. There's no reason for you to go to Africa if you're that scared. It makes no sense. Now, if you decide to go, you can do what Chris Brown recently did and what other American artists have done, and Idris Elba, among others. You can hire bodyguards here, and if you want, hire bodyguards locally. Those African promoters really want you to come regardless, so they're going to cover all that cost to begin with. So what is your issue? There is no reason why you shouldn't follow through with your contract when you say you're going to. First, it's bad for brand reputation for you personally, and it's also bad for the country you represent. And beyond it being bad in that case, you have terrible situations like this that can come because people don't respect the rule of law in the place you're going to. So you want to always make sure you got your bases covered, and there are different ways to do it so that you don't renege on the promise you made. Okay, so I'm going to finish out now with African concert promoters. African concert promoters, I don't understand why you all want to do business with American artists, celebrity artists, to come perform in your respective countries, and over again, you don't think it makes sense to get a US attorney who knows and understands US law and who also understands a thing or two about Africa in order to negotiate these contracts with you. It makes no sense. It also is the same situation I see all the time also with the Caribbean. People are not going to respect you if you don't show them that you should be respected in some way. You're over 6,000 miles away, and you expect an artist who you've never really done business with and who's very distrustful of your continent and your country to show up and honor their contract? Yes, some will, but then there are instances like this or situations that is alleged, like Nas's situation, that they won't for whatever reason. So if you have a U.S. attorney looking out for your best interest, okay, and that U.S. attorney knows a thing or two on both, the contract you negotiate will initially or should say very clearly that if anything happens, you go to U.S. Courts, because the American artist is probably going to say, I'm not agreeing to anything but making sure that any dispute that arises has to be in U.S. court anyways. Well, if you have a U.S. lawyer, it's easy as walking in and filing a lawsuit. And it's a higher chance of even preventing a lawsuit in the first place because those contracts will be more than likely honored, because there's a middleman or woman that can easily negotiate your interests a lot better. So I want to see a little bit more of an increase in this. Don't come after the fact, and certainly don't be kidnapping people to get your money back. It's a very, very bad image for Africa. We're already dealing with all kinds of stigma about Africans in general, and there's been a whole reawakening and revolution to change our image globally. So kidnapping because somebody didn't come to pay you money that was owed is just trifling and just messed up and just a very negative image for Africans. All right, I think I'm done. You can follow me on Twitter at Uruak Law or at Africa Music Law. All right, take care. Ciao.